Peter Cullinane knows a thing or two about how to sell a product. The former Saatchi & Saatchi CEO set out to build Lewis Road Creamery as a company focused on quality rather than scale.
I've had this whole thing about New Zealand's focus on commodities, and we have, I think because we're a little country and we're a long way away from a lot of the markets, we do have this thing about scale is all important, and if you're focused on scale, you automatically go to commodities. And I think that if you go to commodities, you've gone to the wrong end of the opportunity. And so part of the mission with Lewis Road really was to demonstrate, if only to me, that actually New Zealand's future is much more in quality rather than quantity. And so that's there are a whole lot of reasons that butter thing happened, but in the back of my mind it was just to really prove a point, and it does come from advertising, which is we're all about adding value. That's the whole basis of the business. And I just wanted to take all those learnings and apply to them something that I felt passionately about.
Originally self-funded, Cullinane decided to seek investment to grow the company further, an experience he found surprisingly challenging.
I found it sort of surprisingly tough, and I suppose that's probably not a bad thing for me either. By the way, it's not a bad thing to to have a little humiliation as you work through the process. The thing that I absolutely didn't understand was just, frankly, how depressing the whole capital raise process is, and how little imagination there is amongst those who have it. And so that's been a fascinating year, sort of just explaining what we're doing to the sort of private equity industry was something I'll only do once.
The company was propelled into unprecedented exposure when a shortage of its chocolate milk turned it into a prized possession celebrated on social media by the lucky few who managed to get their hands on a bottle. Despite accusations of that being a genius plan from the former ad man, the truth was that their production line was unable to keep up with demand. Cullinane, however, saw it as a key indication of a change in the market.
Back in the day, the product and the brand were, you could almost divide them up. They were sort of almost separate things. So, back when I was in advertising, in its sort of heyday, then it almost didn't matter what the product was. You would start with an idea for a piece of communication, and that would carry the whole thing. Well, now the product and the brand are utterly inseparable, and the combination is only as good as the weakest of those two. So the way they work together is quite different, and that's where the opportunity now lies. And what that chocolate milk demonstrated was, when you get it right in a big way. So it was a great lesson.
Despite the demand, Cullinane believes that size is critical to the company's achievements, with no plans to get too big too soon.
The bigger the companies get, the more risk averse they become. Well, we, compared to Goodman Field, which is the biggest food company in the country, and Fonterra, which is the biggest company in the country, we're tiny. So we can do things so much faster and feel it in a way which I don't think they can.